Hello, welcome to Juhl Media live interview podcast. My name is Ching Juhl. I've been hosting this program since pandemic. So this is about fourth year. We're doing actually fifth year. And welcome for those of you who always come to support us. And I thank you very much. And I've been talking with many different type of people. They're all very creative. Some of them are internet influencer and lots of musicians and many filmmakers and writers, producers, and sometimes politicians. So today, my very special guest, I've been chasing him for a long time, and he's a UK videographer, video producer. His name is Cassius Rayner. Let's welcome to Cassius. Hello.
You caught me.
How are you? So great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, Ching. Good to see you.
Seems like we've known each other for so long, and mostly I think it's through Clubhouse, right?
Yeah, well, virtually. Yeah, definitely.
And people still many people still don't know what the heck is Clubhouse, and I think that they need to know. And not that we're getting paid to promote Clubhouse, but it's a really great place to meet creative people, and we have this community, right? And we meet very often. Like today, you came to our smartphone video production room. Now, tell me a little about yourself, because all I know, you are a incredible mobile phone videographer, and you have really great presence online. Not only you have a very handsome website, and you're very active on Instagram and some other places. So tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Yeah, well, that's because I have no life, so I spend most of it online. Yeah, what a saddo. They told me this back in the 80s. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about it then. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm a filmmaker. I've been in the game a long time, maybe, oh, crikey. I don't want to say it, but possibly creeping up to 26, 27 years now. Originally, I trained in film. So I actually studied and trained in 35 mil and 16 mil film. Loved that experience. And then started obviously looking at video tape formats, Beta SP, which was back in the day. So I did that for a while, and then I trained, I did apprenticeship and trained in camera operating for a local news channel, and then went freelance. And straight after that, spent 4 years back and forwards overseas working for the United Nations as a frontline camera operator. So I gained a lot of experience in the late 90s doing that.
Uh-oh, you're freezing. Is it me or yeah, Lewis? Did you see freezing? Well, hopefully get resolved. Let me write cause it's a little message. All right, so yeah, let me just take over while we solve this problem.
So sorry.
Oh, there was freezing. Yeah. Okay.
Am I back? Okay? Am I back? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
AI. It's AI.
It's London. It's what happens. Internet is prehistoric here. It crashes all the time. So
really?
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I thought London was very front forward. Very.
No. I remember filming a documentary in Hong Kong, and someone said to me, "Oh, what's your internet speeds in London?" So I told him like the numbers are really small, and he just started laughing and just said, "That's just ridiculous." I was like, "Well, that's the way it is." I don't know where I got to or where people heard or not heard, but
yeah, you were saying you work for UN.
Yeah, so was part of UNOPS, which is United Operations, part of the UN, and did that for a long time. got a lot of experience working in different places for them, and then went out in the field and shot everything from documentaries, music videos, corporate video. Sometimes corporate videos pay very handsomely, so that was thank you very much. Dramas, yeah, you name it, I've done it.
Yeah. So you have so much, experience in different genre of filming, and so now the smartphone started, right? I was 10 years ago. People start to shoot. So what attract you to start using a mobile phone to shoot?
It's a really good question. Insanity, um,
Laziness.
laziness, midlife crisis, uh, as my wife maybe sometimes highlights it. I think it's a combination of two things. I started actually exploring it in 2012, and then actually became quite committed to it by 2014. And everyone said, "You're completely mad. What are you doing? You're ruining your career," and I just felt ready for a change, and I wanted something that was a real creative challenge. And the technology then was a creative challenge. It was still in its infancy in where it was going, but that's what kind of excited me. And I think because by that time I'd shot a lot of documentary, and I love that format. Working in documentaries, absolutely love that organic. It's in the moment, it's happening, you've got to capture it. You can't sort of ask people, sorry, before you start starting to the race, could you just step back a bit and do that again for me? It kind of doesn't work like that. So love all that. And I just could see that mobile phones would really lend itself to that particular field. And I knew already at that point that certain news channels were starting to explore mobile journalism, that actually overseas we could start actually looking at the technology and how we capture stories overseas using phones and whatnot. So it was an exciting time, I think, back then. It was God, it was only in my mind, yeah, it was only 10 years ago, but feels like it was an eternity. But the other reason was is that my kind of personal life had changed a lot. My second daughter was very, 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 very sick when she was born. A lot of medical conditions and a cardiac condition. So we were in and out of hospitals, pretty much living in hospitals, trying to keep her alive, trying to keep her going. And I think, that on top of where my career was at that point, I kind of felt I wanted to start going a different direction. And things were tough, when you're a filmmaker and you're juggling every project and you're trying to juggle those credit cards and, waiting for the next funding to come in and the next development and so on. It doesn't take an awful lot for your personal life to go crash, and suddenly it's like, oh God, there's no money coming in, or there's no invoices being paid. So that was a very, very difficult and changing time in my life. And I had to get rid of a lot of my equipment back then to make sure that my family got through what we had to get through. Thankfully, my daughter is all good now. But we didn't know that at the time. I had my phone and I just started exploring it. And my mind was already kind of in that way, thinking of what I could do with a phone and what kind of stories could I shoot with a phone. And so that kind of started the journey. And yeah, everyone said I was crazy. And it was difficult. It was very new back then. People were just like, what are you talking about? It's tourism. You take pictures and a couple of video clips for your family. What are you trying to do? Shoot stuff professionally on a phone? But I just stuck with it and found my own path, my own journey with it. I met lots of amazing people from different communities, and it wasn't long before some pretty big charities were starting to acknowledge the technology. And before I knew it, I was overseas and I was flying to different countries, filming documentaries and stories for charities and rescue missions using a phone. So that's how it all started.
Yeah. I wanted to show you something here, and that's
Uh,
your website. Let's see. Anything we can show people?
that's entirely up to you. I mean, yeah. What have you got there? Oh, it's my website, right?
Did you see it? Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
lots
really
of
handsome
things.
one. Did,
Um,
did you do it yourself?
yeah, I did
Oh,
actually. Yeah, it's much
okay.
more cost effective.
May I ask like what software you use? There's like a Wix or whatever,
Well, I'd like
Square.
to say it was something, I bought it, I did coding and did it all myself. No, it's Wix.com.
Huh? What? Oh,
Wix.com.
you did a Wix. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually
Not
very
advertising them seriously, but
no, no,
I'm
no.
not, I'm not a coding person on WordPress. I don't, my mind just doesn't really click into that. So I
Yeah.
needed something that was very simple and very easy to follow. And it's just a really easy
Yeah.
website to work
Yeah.
with design
This is very
wise.
handsome. Very, very impressive. I always look for people, in the media world, how their website is simple yet, striking. So, should we go to any of the films? Should we play a
Yeah,
little?
sure. I can't remember now if what's
Let's see.
on there, to be honest. Um,
All right. So this one, tell us. Oh, this is some kind of like
they're
a
just
trailer.
no, they're just different clips from different films
Okay.
that I've shot. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Um, Scroll down, there might be.
Scroll down.
Keep
Okay.
going down. Yeah, so
Oh yeah,
you've got.
I remember when you make this one. Yeah,
So
okay.
you've got them. If you keep going down, there you go.
Uh,
But these are all quite long films. So,
Long. Or just what?
well, documentary, The Heart Warriors, that's 30 minutes long.
Oh, we'll watch that now.
The
Kidding.
first one, the missing is 4 minutes long. That's a short
Yeah.
drama,
Oh,
which is now being developed into a feature film.
awesome.
Which is yeah, it's getting quite advanced now for that.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean,
So
yeah,
tell. So before I want to watch a little bit with our audience. So tell us a little bit about. So the missing is a script film.
yeah, it's a short drama,
Mm.
4 minutes long. It's actually based on a feature film that I've been wanting to make for 2-3 years now, and I think this is the benefit of mobile technology. When you have a mobile phone, you can visualize things. You can use it to record clips or piece together different things that you need. A huge benefit compared to in the 90s. It would take months to develop and put things together to present to commissioners, or to potential networks that might be interested. Whereas now with the mobile phone, you can literally just call in some favors, call some friends in to help out for a few hours and shoot some demos and some clips, and then you've really got something to excite potential commissioners and say, hey, not only have we got it written, but here's some visuals and here's a pitch deck and so on. And mobile phone's fantastic for that. So I said, you know what, let's just do it. We made it on zero budget, and I wanted it as a basis to then pitch my feature film to different exec producers. And I thought, well, this, instead of just thinking about it, let's just go and film it. So I called in some favors and got a couple of friends to help me out, and we shot it on a Sunday night in a terrible snowstorm, actually, which was not planned, but production wise actually looks really good. So where I sort of go, yeah, we had the snow machines and not a problem. But no, actually, the reality is that there was an unpredicted snowstorm that hit us in London that night. Anyway, we shot it in 4 hours in the
4 hours.
freezing weather,
Oh,
and edited it in one day, and
wow.
did it out at festivals the next week,
This is
and
a
then some.
one cam. Did you shot it in one camera?
Yeah, just one camera, Sony Xperia Pro I mobile.
Mm.
Yeah, it's my
Yeah, you're
shoot.
a Sony person. All right, let's watch a little bit, then we can ask questions.
A police officer gave me your number, said you were the one to call. us. My son's been missing for 4 days now. He's only 12 years old. The police said that it's possible he's involved with county lines. He's a good kid.
Sorry.
Look, we're really desperate. I don't care what it costs. Please, can you give me a call on 07900 852 266? Thanks. Hello?
Just got your message about your son.
Thanks.
Yeah, I need you to not talk. I'm working at the minute, so I need you to text me your address and I'll get back to you tomorrow. I'll meet you there. Oh, don't call me on this number again. I'll send you further instructions. You were fed? No. Are you going to shoot me? No. Your mum wants you home. Fancy a chip?
Hello. Really hoping that you can help me. It's about my daughter has been missing. I think she might be caught up in something that she shouldn't be. Please, can you give me a call back? Thanks.
Yeah. Anybody
Yeah.
else? And have questions, please write in the chat. Yeah. So I have a question. How did you do lighting? It's so dark in the car.
Yeah, I mean, it's deliberate it to be like that. The light was very structured from the outside, so we used battery-powered lighting, so we didn't have to run cables or anything like that. Yeah, it was battery charged lighting from the outside of the car into the car, and using what we call flags, which is how we can direct light sources to make it much sharper. We can shape the light so we some amount of it that comes in, and so very deliberate across her face. We saw half of her face and so on.
That's wonderful. And so this is about 5 minutes and will be developed into a feature. Is like how long? 70 minutes or something or more?
No, it'll be at least 90 minutes. It's in development now. We're shoots are planned in November. Sorry, I was going to say December. Yeah, principal photography in November.
So you're gonna be this short one. The story, it has a beginning and middle and end. So when you do a feature, how would you structure? Is it a more to it or different story or story add on to it?
It's a story that's very much added to it. That short film, what you want, yes, it has an arc, but it's
London Bridge falling down. London internet falling down. So yeah, we are talking with Cassius Rayner about mobile filmmaking. He's been doing it since 2014, and from a traditional filmmaker, using all different cameras to realize how convenient and also I would say convenience and light and in what how to say intrusive, yeah, not intrusive way of making videos and film, and we enjoy myself. I've been doing it since, let's see, seriously, 2017. Yeah, before that I already shot my actually. If you check my YouTube channel, in under video, of the most viewed video is someone making a pancake, and then I was just shooting one take, no stop, and that video got the most view, which is not millions viewers, but still, people like this kind of a simple, unscript way of telling story. I was singing London, London.
yeah, I'm really London. I don't know if it's Friday night and everyone's online. It's
Yeah,
I can't do anything about it. I'm really sorry.
that's possible. That's possible. Eric was analyzed that the last two guests all had some problem, blurry or echoey or whatever, and maybe I should change the time, not doing Friday afternoon, because a lot of people off work started to playing around with their phone or gadgets. So yeah, we were talking about your short film become a long film, and how would that storytelling go?
Sorry, Ching. In what sense? The storytelling mean?
Oh, yeah, it's like you add story on top of it, right? And this lady.
Well, I mean, what you saw, what wall there was effectively a scene. It's that has an arc to it. I've lost you again, haven't I?
No, I'm here.
I'm back. Yeah, no, I'm back. Yeah, no, so froze. Technology, God, and we're working with it. So don't get me on about AI. So yeah, it's a sin itself, and it's based on several characters. So what you see is only one character or quite a few characters that will appear in the main story that we kind of follow their stories. But it's a film that will be tackling cost issues in the UK around missing quite regularly, and then turning up in gangs in county lines around the UK. So it's a story that has some facts to it. Obviously, it's dramatized to a degree to entertain, but my key mission with it is the social impact and for debate and discussion to hopefully happen after the film. That I want people to enjoy the film, but I want people to also think about the key issues that appear in the film. So there are some really horrendous that are sensitive, but really deal with a lot of case studies of situations that happen here in this routine.
Yeah, tell us a little bit. Lately you went to some exotic place to shoot, and I assume that's a documentary you were making. Foreign
Christ,
country.
which one? So yeah, last so last May, Kenya, did a documentary, shot a medical rescue mission documentary in Kenya on voluntary. I found out about some voluntary NHS and specialist nurses, doctors, surgeons who give up their vacation time. They give up their free time to go out with charity.
Cassius, Mark Shuckfintech says Cassius' uses of for color and light are nothing short of stunning. From what I've seen, he gets every ounce of quality from his Sonys and iPhones. Would be interesting to know if he color grades separately. Yeah. Cassius is in the refrigerator again. Freezer. He's freezing. So yeah, we can, while he's freezing, we can continue his website. Maybe we can watch some other stuff. Okay. Let's see. I go back to this. You can see all the YouTube, me all these videos. Yeah. Are you back? I keep hearing poop, poop. I don't know what does that mean. Heart Warriors. So Cassius, we're listening.
My name is Cassius Rayner, and I'm a filmmaker. I have a story to tell you. A story that's actually about my own family. My wife and my daughters are the most precious things to me. They really are my everything. We're a typical family, like any other. But when my second daughter was born, our world was changed forever. And we began a new journey in an unfamiliar world, guided and supported by an individual that would become a very significant and important person in our lives. Let me take you back to 2011. We'd known for a long time during pregnancy that something wasn't right. The doctors had arranged for a cesarean 2 weeks early. So on the morning, we did our best to try and keep our spirits up. Jessie was delivered and raced to intensive care. She had a heart murmur and something was wrong with her lungs. My wife didn't even get to see her. I stayed by Jessie's side. I desperately needed to hold her and wanted to hold her, but I wasn't allowed. There were no expectations that she would survive, but somehow she kept going. And it was at this point that a person came into our lives, Professor Qureshi. And he helped us to be strong and to stay strong for Jessie and to be with her every step of the way. And eventually she was stable enough to come home. I'll never forget the doctor saying, "Just enjoy her for now." My world just crumbled. But within a few months, she fell very ill again and spent her first birthday in hospital. We were so desperate for answers and how to help her. You can never be prepared for this. We did get to take Jessie home again, but we knew there was a mountain to climb ahead of us. Jessie was now 3, and the day of her surgery arrived. It was the hardest thing to do. As a dad, I just wanted to make everything okay for her.
All right. That was a great film.
Yeah.
Great. No, so
Yeah.
it's great that you documented the whole, I guess, journey, because you don't really know, right, the turnout.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
that's
Yeah, and
that's
you know, mobile phone was the way forward at that time to tell that story, and to be able to get as personal as that. I think that's when the technology really lent itself to that type of story. And you know, being with the team, I mean, if you watch the full length, then you get that the next part of the journey is Ethiopia, and I follow the team out there and all the incredible things they're doing, children in Ethiopia. So, and again, it was a challenge, but easier on the phone, because you, security-wise, you're not allowed in Ethiopia if you have camera systems. If I went in there with big cameras, you know, the security would arrest me, or I'd be sent back out on a plane. So the fact that I could go with a mobile phone and a gimbal in my backpack, I, you know, was disguised as a volunteer medical nurse and joined the team out there. So you know, that's when mobile phone works.
Yeah, so let's talk about phone, the equipment. We always say it's not the tools; it's the carpenter, right?
Yeah.
And but in your case, have you tried many different brands? I know you do Sony. I know you also do Android, other Androids. And tell us a little bit about your experience of all these different types of phones you use.
Well, I think it really depends on. At the end of the day, I'm a filmmaker, and my only interest is the next project and what is it I'm filming and what do I need to get that film shot, what budgets do I need, and so on. So I'm kind of preoccupied with all that. There are other, you know, creatives out there that their interest is purely the technology and purely like, you know, this phone can do this and this phone can do that, and they do these fantastic videos that shows you all the wonders of these different makes of phones, from Oppo to Samsung to Sony to iPhone, whatever. And I don't have that luxury. I don't generally get my hands on lots of different types of phones, so I can only work with what I have and what I do. And I've, for many years, obviously always had an iPhone, but it was in the last 2 years, maybe creeping 3 years, where I started to I had some contacts at Sony, and they said, "Oh, mind trying our new Sony Xperia Pro iPhone?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay, let's give it a crack." And was completely blown away by the footage and what I could achieve on it, and it made me put my iPhone down, you know. And so Sony was really kind of the way forward for me. Aesthetically, you know, in the way it captures footage, its behavior is very much modeled on the Sony camera range, so you get results that are incredibly similar. I mean, of course there's a difference, but I was amazed at how well it had been done, and I loved it. It felt much more filmic to me. The results, it was softer, the colors were much more interesting than what iPhone was producing. So that's kind of where I'm at. A lot of people keep saying to me, "What's the best phone? Who does, you know, what phone do you shoot with?" I don't care. You just shoot with whatever I've got. You know, I did a training program in the Congo. I launched a mobile filmmaking camp in Kinshasa, and it was a fantastic training program, and we got as many young people involved as possible. We were teaching teachers as well as the students, and they all have these sort of unknown makes in the Western world called TEX, which is a Chinese model of mobile phone. but they're all saying, oh, but we need iPhones and we can't get iPhones in this country. They're not imported, or they're too expensive, or very specialized. And so I said, show me your phone. What's it called? Oh, it's a tech. So I had a look at tech, looked at the camera settings, and I said, you do know your pro settings on here? No, I didn't realize that. Yeah. So you've got all the settings you need to shoot with, plus you've got 4K resolution. And these are $100 phones. This is what it costs. This is what it costs them to buy these phones new. It's $100, and they're 4K resolution phones. So it's like, just, you know, it frustrates me as well, because we're so hit by what, you know, we're being told, you know, what's best and what you need and what you must have. And Apple's very clever at doing that globally, that they are the most, you know, sought after phone in the world. And, you know, what
Frozen. Pretty soon we can eat Cassius as ice cream. All right, so I'll take over, and I see some people here. Our friend Lewis and also Mark ask a question about if Cassius does color grading. So it'll be interesting to know if he does it. What kind of a editing software he uses. And when I watched that the film about his family, and it's very well edited, and I encourage us to finish watching that on his website. That is a 30-minute short film. We watched probably about 5 minutes or something like that. Yeah, so that's very well told story. Now, I encourage you guys to ask more questions if you do have questions. And we at the Clubhouse, we have a room called Smartphone Filming. And we often said that it's not the tool, it is the carpenter. So we all agree in our small community of filmmaker and people who are interested in smartphone filmmaking, and um, whatever you have, even you have a iPhone 5 SE, and just keep shooting and keep making, because there's no really magic bullet for people to learn or to become a good filmmaker using smartphone or any equipment, because you just have to do it. Every time you do it and you learn you can do something, and then you learn you cannot do certain things, or you do things mistakenly, and that kind of mistake only you can catch yourselves, because you just have to do it. And Chinese people a long time ago say 要实践. 实践, yeah, 实践 means uh pure, true, hands on. Yeah, you can read a book about how to do your taxes, but you have to do it. Yeah, you can read a book how to make a shelf, woodwork, but you have to do it. So everything. So I encourage us, any learning things, right? Filmmaking, and if you want to have a Instagram channel, and you just have to do it, and by doing it or watching other people how they do it, and similar genre as your topic, and then just do it, and do it slowly, do it consistently, and that will eventually you will be really good, right? Hey, you're coming out of ice cream bucket again.
Honestly, I might as well be sitting on the moon with a cup of tea. I mean, it's just absolutely driving me bonkers, this connection. I don't know what's going on tonight.
Yeah, it's just
So
too
I can
many.
only apologize if anyone's
I know
listening.
your family. Stop them, watch TV.
So I seriously, it's probably about 6 movies going on in the house as well at the moment.
That's why. Yeah, you have to shut them down.
I have been running around going, turn it off.
You have to crack them down.
Poor old Ching's like being hang out to dry on her own out there.
Yeah, they can
No
only
man's land.
sit next to you and watching you talk. Yeah, so we have two people here made a comment about, do you do color grading Do you have any comment, Cassius?
Oh yes, I mean I do color grade, but it's not extensive because I'm not a qualified color grader. It's a bit of a minefield. I know enough about it, but I'm certainly not by far an expert in that field. It's not something I've concentrated on in my career, but I've learned from others in post-production that I've worked with over the years. So yes, I do an element of grading, but I keep it as simple as possible. So, you know, there might be some stories that I shoot. So for example, The Missing, there was very, very little that we did to that in the color. That color was pretty much how we were capturing it. What we played with was the shadows, and crushing the blacks, working a little bit with the midtones and and the highlights, and tweaking a little bit. There was a little bit of too much of an orange overcast coming from some street lights, but apart from that, it's pretty much as you see it. So yes, color grading does come into it, but yeah, it's not over the top, if that makes sense.
Now let's talk about audio. When you do The Missing, obviously it's very different. It's script from your wife, your family story.
Right.
How do you deal with these two different genre of film, and how do you use your audio?
Okay. I mean, with documentary, what my passion with documentary is that it doesn't matter how much you plan, you don't know what will unfold in real time. You don't know, you've had experience of this, Ching, that, when you're out actually in the field capturing it, you just can't plan certain things. You know what you need and what you need to capture to create an arc. But documentary has a story structure. It has an arc. You kind of need a beginning, middle, and end to it, which is a very similar format to drama, which again needs a beginning, middle, and end. But of course, the main difference is that you're planning every specific part of it. You're creating the scenes. You're working with actors and not real people in the real world as such. So it's a very different way of approaching the subjects and how you're working and working in a team. They're just two different things that I absolutely love doing. I can't really think much more than that they just both come very naturally to me. And I think documentary visually has lent itself to me over the years that kind of visually drives me in my story structures of drama. So when I'm writing a drama, it tends to be quite gritty. It tends to be quite dark. It tends to be, I try to do quite a bit of handheld. I like it to feel quite real. So there's a lot of crossover from my years of filming documentaries that will come into the drama that I do as well, if that makes sense, hopefully.
Yeah, very much. How did you mic your actress? Is it lavalier or wait, she didn't talk?
No, it was Boom. I had help of a lovely filmmaker, Domenico, and he helped me out by doing the sound and stuff. So we boom mic'd those shots. We actually did plug the audio directly into the phone, but we just ran it on a boom pole using a Sennheiser directional microphone.
How about the family video? Do you have a microphone or not?
Yes, I for general shots and sort of atmosphere type of things, I was just using a very general small directional mic that was attached to the top of the handheld rig. But for all the interviews and for different parts of the story, I used wireless Rode mics.
Wireless Rode, yeah. I set, yeah. Now,
don't pause too long because I'm going to get cut off again. Let's keep going because I might be back on the Mac and having a cup of tea in a minute.
So, have you done live streaming before? Because I was confessing to our group that I did it on Tuesday, and I made a couple of mistakes. Okay, so tell me.
Oh,
One is battery was dead. The battery of my iPhone 14 died,
right.
and I never thought about only use 2 hours, it will die, because I start at
Mm,
4 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, 3 hours. One of the reasons because I plug Shure MV80A microphone in it.
mm-hmm.
In that kind of a situation, I really don't need a Shure MV99 because it's mostly a big scene. Medium shot doesn't require much of talking, and even if someone I get a close shot of interview, and their voice actually can be heard by iPhone. iPhone's
Right.
audio is awesome, you know. So my intake is I learned from this experience because I have never done live this long, you know. I
Right. Right.
have. So what do you say?
I mean, you've seen my dance on just this live show. I keep hearing and getting cut off. So experience very little. I never delved into live streaming, to be honest. I mean, I've joined other people in conversations on live streams. I just find it all too stressful. I find it really quite overwhelming. You know, the whole setup, and you've got to have this in place and put that up. And no, I'm old fashioned. I like to get out on the streets and work with actors and just actually spend our time and plan and and repeat the shots. You see, that's the thing that scares me about live is you can't. It is what it is.
We
Um,
are live.
yeah, yeah, we are live, and I like to be able to go over something again if I'm not happy with the results. But yeah, I totally respect anyone that does live streaming because it does take a lot to sort of put yourself out there and do it. And yeah, no, good on you for doing it, Ching. And it is always a learning curve, isn't it? I mean, in filmmaking, I'm still learning. 27 years later of doing it, I still learn on every single project I shoot. There's always a new experience to have. Technology changes constantly, doesn't it? So it's like, what's that? There's something else that's been added to that. Oh my god, there's a new menu system, or you got to check this out and do this. It's frightening.
Yeah, but you're so forefront, and you look really handsome when you hold that mobile phone. Uh, you look
Ah, shucks. Oh, seriously.
no, you use
I
gimbal.
didn't I didn't
You
get my
use like
teeth whitened. I should have got my teeth whitened.
and then you use 300 different lenses.
Yeah.
So
But
tell us about your accessories, please.
well, that's a really good point because my accessories have actually become quite minimal again.
Oh yeah.
Um, when I first started out, the phones still had a long way to go, but they were in that direction. But things like telephone, getting closer to the subject, having more functions, and handheld rigs and everything else that you needed. And lens was huge. If I go back to 2015, 2016, there was all different companies were going, hey, these phones are great, but actually they can do with all the external lenses, anamorphic lenses, telephoto lenses. This will really enhance everything. A lot of guys were making some really good external lenses, and there was a huge being used on phones, in particular.
Uh-oh. Ice cream. I say ice cream because we have some frozen up from London. The London Bridge is falling down. London Wi-Fi falling down. All right, so thank you so much. GC Media. What does GC mean? Great uh, Creation Media. Hi, what is the filmmaking group you both refer to? Thank you both for giving your time. Of course, anytime. And my name is Ching Juhl. I host this live interview once a week. I used to be on Wednesday, 4 o'clock. Now we moved to Friday, 5 o'clock. And then next week, I have one on Saturday, 12 noon. And believe it or not, I checked my YouTube channel audience statistics. Um, Actually, people, my audiences, they are all watching me more between 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single day. So, but I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to Wyatt and talk to Lewis. What should I do? Should I move my talk to 12 p.m. on Saturday permanently? But anyway, thank you so much. What we talk about the group is GC Media. Is we are all nerds from Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a uh, audio platform, social media. It's only audio, no video. So people get together, different groups. We talk about different things. You can find groups talk about health issue, or politicians, or making money, or social media, YouTube, anything. So my group is called um, smartphone filming. That's where I met Cassius. Also, I met many people, tech for your needs, Shark Fin, and also Audra earlier. And so yeah, come to, first of all, why don't you install Clubhouse? It's a free app. Yeah, it's been I think of 4 years or 3 years, something like that. And yeah, you become a member, and then you can join different groups to talk about different subject, and all of these are free. So I met really wonderful friends and people who have similar interests as you are, or as I am. Yeah. So GCTV Media, oh, it's our media video part-time business. We are two retired guys from the image industry in New Zealand. Wow, awesome. Yeah. Check my YouTube channel, which is this one. And I have about 1,000 videos, shorts, video, live interview. Hey, you're back.
Yeah, it's just not fun for anyone,
Oh,
to be honest.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's
Just
completely
give me,
out of my control what's happening here.
that's okay. Yeah, you give me
Yeah.
opportunity to talk about myself.
I should have just stayed offline.
Go have some dinner.
Ching, you can carry the show with yourself. You don't need me at all,
Go have
honestly.
some dinner. So Cassius, oh yeah, we GC media from New Zealand. Maybe he or she is your friend. Asking us what do we talk about, the filmmaking group. So I was just telling him our Clubhouse group. And can you tell me a little bit? I'm not really promoting Clubhouse, okay? But I did meet so many wonderful people. I'm
Right.
telling you. Yeah. So how did you get on? Like, who told you, or you just like Google around?
I was actually a colleague of mine who works for Fuji, and he was already on it. And back then it was about invite, so you couldn't get on Clubhouse unless you were actually directly invited by someone that was already connected. I don't know what the setup is now, but that's what it was. So you can get on it unless you're invited. So he invited me, and he said, "Oh, it's really interesting," and this was actually during COVID, and we were all at home, so it was like, yeah, something to listen to or be interesting. So I got on in it, and yeah, it was fascinating. There were so many different filmmaking groups, people talking all over the world, and that I actually found exciting, how everyone could interact live. Whereas like what we're doing now with live streams, no one can actually come on the phone and speak to us.
Right. So the I find Clubhouse different from Facebook, Instagram, or some other in LinkedIn is that it is live. So either you can talk about, like nerdy things like we do, and sometimes I just go into rooms. People talk about mental health. People talk about what we grateful today. I'm grateful for. I have a rice soup waiting for me, or I'm grateful, for I have a house to stay. I'm not homeless. So there's so many different things, different subject you can go in, and it's live. So that means you have someone to talk to, or you listen to someone who's live, or you say something, people will listen to you. So it's a pretty awesome thing. And Clubhouse now is deteriorating, but we're still hanging out, right? It's like I met so many people. Without Clubhouse, I don't even know my Young Gun Diary will be today, in because I just finished. Uh, i i i finished and applied for film festivals, and then won a couple of them, and then I learned a lot of different things, like I showed my film to sound people, say, can you listen to it? Do I need to get a sound tweet, which will cost $5,000? And then they came back. They said, no, you're fine. And then I asked someone to watch. I said, can you watch? Can you tell me, do I need a color grading? And then they come back. They say, no, you don't need it. So I save a lot of money. And other things, learning how to make DCP, so we're just talking about how good I am grateful that I am on Clubhouse. So anyway, yeah, Cassius, so you find it very helpful also for many of us is because it's during COVID, right now people are just busy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a bit different now, but back then it was crazy. It grew so massive, and there was so many different things going on, and it was just fascinating, just listening. I mean, it was a bit like being a peeping tom, just sort of going into different rooms and listening to the conversations. It was all a bit surreal at first, but actually, the more you sort of listened in, the more it just became interesting, and sometimes really fascinating conversations, and lots of really experienced, some very talented individuals went on there, and I learned some stuff as well about lighting and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah, awesome. So tell us, we're almost to the time, to the wrap up time.
And I'm probably going to get shut down anyway.
The city is shutting down.
The
And
city's shutting down.
yeah, tell us a little your current project. You have several, right? Current.
Yeah, so we've got I've got a feature music documentary in development. That's actually with commissioners right now. We've done a big pitch. We've done a sizzle reel, which is where I've gone out and off my own back, actually gone and shot some interviews with some of the subjects that I want in the story, and we've pieced it together into like a 2-minute sizzle reel, presented it to the commissioners. They've gone, this is really nice, we really like this. So that's really helped us to move it forward in consideration for the amount of money that we need to shoot it, because it's quite significant, and it will be shot using phones. And yeah, working hard on the feature film, lots of meetings, lots of conversations, pitching. About half of the finance has been raised, so we're on mission with that. In between that, just picking up jobs here and there, just doing more sort of local charity short videos and stuff. I love doing that. I love working with local charities. So yeah, trying to keep busy while waiting for those phone calls and waiting for those meetings to happen.
Thank you. Is it possible to shoot wedding with my iPhone? Do I need to have a longer lens? Because I did one last fall, and it's kind of not very successful because I cannot put my phone right next to bride, and I don't have a huge long lines. So, do you have any
Well,
experience about
what iPhone do you have?
iPhone 14 Pro?
Right, right.
But yeah, I don't have a long lens. Now I realize I cannot shoot wedding for sure. It was a disaster
Brilliant.
because I
I
cannot see people's face, like that.
Yeah, you're very brave. I mean, someone approached me in the 90s about, hey, Cass, on the side, maybe do you want to do some, weddings? I'm like, absolutely no way do I want to send me off to a war zone. Seriously, that job I'll go and do and film, but don't send me to someone's wedding. So if I get it wrong, I could never live with that. And
That is divorce. Let me put it again.
that fear of missing all those really important bits. I respect to wedding videographers, really. I mean, I really couldn't go down there. But I mean, I don't know. Can you shoot a wedding on a phone? Yeah, of course you can. But I mean, the iPhone 15 Pro with
14. I have 14.
Oh, okay. I can't remember what the telephoto is on the 14. Is it just no? Is it ×2? Was there a
x3?
It's a ×3, yeah, which isn't bad, But wedding videos. I haven't been asked a question like that in years. Ching, only you would throw in a curveball like that. In principle, yes. How you go about it, no idea. To be honest, not with a phone. I don't know. Very difficult. It's I would have at least 3 phones rigged up. I would have 2 on tripods, 1 actually mobile going around. I think that's and any phone. You could use an iPhone 8 on a wide, 4K. Great, fine. And another one maybe just cropped in a little bit, and then run around with a handheld one. I think that's the only way around it.
Yeah.
Or what I can think off the top of my head.
Yeah. I can only think that. So the wedding you go is not someone you don't know very well. Has if my son get married, and I probably can do that myself and hire 2 more person, because you really need to walk around. You need to get really close shot, and if you don't know this person very well, you cannot do that. But a mother can get away with it. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. Shakman has a question for you. Which editing software does Cassius use?
Okay, good question. I use Final Cut Pro when I'm on my main editing suite. On location, I use LumaFusion quite a lot on my iPad. It's a fantastic piece of software, never crashes, very quick to put samples together. Sometimes I master some clips while I'm on location to then send to the client or the commissioner or the producer or whatever. So yeah, on location, LumaFusion. At home or in an edit suite, I'd be using Final Cut.
Yeah, I'm a Final Cut person. Yeah.
So, and it's only for so many years. It's kind of like everyone went over to Adobe. Absolutely fair enough. I got to a point where I just said, I can't be asked with that. I just asked with all that learning again, please. So I just carried on with Final Cut. Is it the best? I don't think so. But, I'm actually quite interested in DaVinci Resolve as well. And I've been dabbling with that. So I'm slowly teaching myself that as well.
Yeah, that's great. And before we get into another question, and how's you used to be the representative for film, what is it called? Film something.
Filmic Pro.
Yeah.
I thought you used Filmic Pro. What, you forgot it that quick?
I have it, but I never use it. I'm terrible.
Okay.
I'm terrible.
Fair enough. You're very honest. You're an honest filmmaker. There's so few of us. Filmic Pro. Yeah, I did used to use Filmic Pro all the time. Absolutely loved their app, and they, to me, were the godfathers of mobile filmmaking. They really were there at the forefront and came up with something that was very, very special. And it's actually really sad that the team's no longer. And I don't think the app will be developed any longer. And still around, but everyone's kind of jumped ship now and gone to Blackmagic camera app. I think that's what everyone's using now. I still actually am using Filmic Pro quite a lot. Just habits, you know, you just stick to what you know, or what works for you, or what works will workflow, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It takes a lot of time and discipline to learn something new, which I'm not always doing that. Yeah. So Lewis, last question. Lewis, Lewis asked, what is the one advice one filmmaker gave you, Cassius, that always stuck with you? Wow, he's so philosophical.
Mm. I can't quite. It wasn't actually. It wasn't actually a filmmaker that stuck in my mind. It was actually my art teacher at school, who kind of looked out for me. And he said to me once, he said, "Never ever reach perfection, Cass. The day you reach perfection is the day that it just all finishes. Always be reaching, always be trying, but never ever reach perfection. It's not real. It doesn't exist."
Wow, that's interesting. That's very different from, you know, sort of traditional.
Well, it kind of makes sense. I mean, I think in filmmaking, you never ever stop learning. And if you know, can you reach perfection? Can you be a perfect filmmaker? No, of course not. And I wouldn't want to be a perfect filmmaker, because what would be the bloody point making anything else? I'm perfect. It's like, you know, it's always reaching for something. It's always challenging yourself, always pushing to new things. We always reflect on the films that we've made on, could have done that differently, or could have done better. And you try that and you move on and you move on. And I actually have embraced that. I love that. When I was younger, it would drive me mad and frustrate me, because it would have to be brilliant. And why is it not brilliant? And why did I make those mistakes? But now I embrace.
Uh-oh. Ice cream. Well, I guess that cuts down. I was gonna do rapid fire with Casillas. Do you think I should do it when he come back? Because I've been doing it with a lot of people, and then sometimes I don't do it because the time. So let me know if you think I should do rapid fire. And then you can give me some questions also, if you feel like. Yeah. All right. So talk about last minute advertisement. Please watch my film, My Young Gun Diary. It's on this channel. It's free. It's also, if you want to watch Amazon, you can watch on Amazon Prime TV, and you have to spend like $2, $1.99. I think you can afford. And also, yeah, check my YouTube channel. I've done 2 videos about the Columbia University encampment, and also one live show I did about 2 hours. And I've have, you know, I have like hundreds of videos I made, and also shorts. In shorts, I only talk about music. So one of the most popular shorts I made has 350K viewers. So check that out. And thank you guys so much for being with us. And rapid fire. Should I do rapid fire? What question should I ask if he comes back? I think maybe one of the reasons is his family is watching TV. Sometimes they say smart TV. If they watch smart TV, it sucks a lot of what do you call data or Wi-Fi. Yeah. I forgot to tell my guest. So it's very interesting, you know, live like this. Every time we have different problems. Sometimes it's audio, right? Sometimes it's video. Sometimes is Cassius' family is watching. You have a smart TV, Cassius?
Yeah.
See, smart
TV.
TV sucks a lot of internet. Now
Yeah,
we know. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Internet
So
just sucks. Full stop. London sucks.
yeah. Okay, I ask our audience, should I do a rapid fire? So would you like me to ask a few questions and then we close it?
Sure.
Like
Yeah,
rapid fire.
and again, so sorry everyone. It must be to watch this that I just kept disappearing.
I'll forgive
I do
you.
apologize.
We still love you. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
So all right, rapid fire. All right. What's your favorite food? Food genre.
Oh, pie and mash.
What the heck is that?
Pie and mash and liquor sauce.
What's your favorite alcohol beverage?
Oh,
What? Say it again. I can't hear
red
you.
wine.
Red wine?
Red
What is
wine.
that?
Can you hear me?
Oh, red
Red wine.
red wine. Okay, yeah. I could
Yeah,
drink-
maybe I've had a few too many. So
yeah, no, don't drink red wine in front of me. Like my husband, he's forbidden to drink red wine in front of me when we go out. Because I quit
Oh,
drinking
okay, fair enough.
for a month. Yeah. Anyway, so what else? It when you come to New
Brilliant.
York, you're taking me out, for a lemonade,
Yeah. Well, I'll drink for you.
So what else? If you, I don't know how many country you travel. If you want to pick one country to live there just for 6 months for fun, which country you want to go?
Vietnam.
Vietnam? Really?
Yeah.
Why? free massage?
Well, I wasn't not going that far. No, I've always since teenager, I've always had a thing about wanting to go to Vietnam. It's just always
Wow.
been there, and so
Interesting.
that's
What is the most challenging thing for you during this whole film production? One most challenging
in any film production or any
in
or
general.
specific in general.
Yeah.
I think we're still. I think for me, mobile technology is still an issue for a lot of the powers that be. So the people who make the decisions at the top still need convincing in different areas, and that's a challenge, and it's a frustration because you have to go beyond improve. The mobile phones can capture the stories, and it can do it in the right way, and so on. So there's still, it's a lot more known, but it's still a problem. Yeah.
When you get a chance to have a dinner with two person, live or dead,
Oh, I hate these questions.
it's easy. Have dinner with me.
Okay, two people for dinner. So for laughter, I would want Robin Williams, who sadly has gone, and for intellectual conversation, I'd like to talk with Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen?
Ian McKellen. He's a very
Ian
famous British actor. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I remember. Right. Great. All right, last question. If you win $25 million and jackpot, what would you do with the money?
I think the first thing I would do is make sure that my family was secure, which would be a very small amount. 25 million is huge amounts. The rest of it, I would reinvest it into programs to train disadvantaged and marginalized young people in film.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Cassius. One last question is, do you have anything you want to tell people, and they can watch or they can follow you or they can subscribe you or whatever?
Yeah. Okay. So it's just my name, Cassius Rayner. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter. Sorry, X. No longer there. And on YouTube, it's a bit of a weird one. Could never get the name, so I ended up with Go Make Films. So check it out. There is a lot of tutorial videos on there, lots of insights into how to shoot with your mobile phone. I've given away a lot there for free for you to take what you need from it. So yeah, the YouTube channel is really good for much more in-depth videos that show you how to actually shoot stuff. So I would definitely say go there.
Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you talking with me
Thank
and
you.
also share your wisdom and your
Yeah.
knowledge with
And
us.
thank you for your patience. And it must be nerve-wracking having to go live on your own when I suddenly. And thank you everyone who's been listening. And apologies for
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
London's internet.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, don't worry about it. And you guys, if you are listening right now or you're listening later, and then just like this is a replay right now after we get off this, so encourage your people to come to listen to us. And I may even go in there to cut the silent part, because on YouTube you can cut. Yeah.
That sounds good.
I may do it. Yeah, but it'll take a little while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So see you guys either in Clubhouse or on my channel or in person in
Yeah.
Carnegie Hall, anywhere. Yeah.
And you should check out Ching. Fantastic, and seriously, really fascinating the things that she's doing. And she's an absolute advocate and a real sharer of her own experience and knowledge. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, Ching.
Thank you so much, Cassius. Yeah. And we'll see you again. Yeah.
All righty, you will.
All right. Yeah. Everybody, thank you. So,
cheers.
All right, bye. Have a great weekend and have a great evening, Cassius. And
you too.
Yeah. All right.